Hello everyone, my name is Maxine. Welcome back to my yoga YouTube channel. Today I'd like to begin with a moment of gratitude. I always end my classes with a moment of gratitude, but today I would like to begin as well as end with a moment of gratitude. First of all, sending out a big thank you to you all for joining me. And for those of you who have already liked and subscribed to my yoga channel, and those of you who haven't, if you wouldn't mind please subscribing, I'd be truly grateful. Thank you. And so let's begin. Standing nice and tall. I do like to begin on foot and then work our way together down onto the ground. So standing nice and tall, either with the feet together or hip width apart. Slightly changing over, which aligns the joints up nicely. And then with shoulders back, pelvis tucked under, and standing as if there was a thread, really nice and tall, lengthening through the spine, as if there was a thread pulling from the top of our head up to the sky. Taking a nice deep inhale, filling up our lungs, and exhale into prayer. So let's all take a moment of gratitude together there for our lungs and the air that we breathe, which keep us alive. And maybe take a deep breath in and a big sigh out if you would like to release any stress and tension you might be holding on to. And either with the eyes closed or the gaze off the tip of the nose, just softly looking down off the tip of the nose as we inhale and exhale through the nose. Remembering that our breath is a powerful tool, always accessible to us, anytime, any place, and anywhere, to tune into and reconnect us with our natural state of being, of peace and calm and love and joy that resides within us always. So simply by using our breath to become fully present in the here and now, slowing it down, activates the parasympathetic nervous system and calms us and brings us peace. So always remembering that. And just giving thanks to our breath for all of the things that it does for us. And then let us take our arms down by our sides and begin to circle the shoulders up and back, down and around. And then as we open the heart, we're taking a nice deep inhale, maybe soften the knees, and exhale as we round it down, just lower the chin to the chest. And inhale as we open and exhale as we close. And then the opposite way, inhale as we open, exhale as we close, and inhale as we open, and exhale as we close. Lowering the chin to the chest, just stretching the neck out for several breaths. And then let it roll to the side with an inhale and to the back, and then exhale to the other side, to the front, and the opposite way. Inhale and exhale. And then raising both arms to the sky, palms together, slight back bend. Let's just prayer it down and fold. Hinge from the hips with bent knees into a ragdoll. It just nicely stretches out the spine, helps a fold from the hips. Nice nourishing breath all the time, noticing how when we use our breath, it brings us into the present moment and calms us. Grab the elbows, gently sway, and place the palms to the ground and step it back into our first downward facing dog. So finding a nice strong triangle, hips to the sky, heels to the ground, towards the ground. If this isn't comfortable, you could come down into a tabletop or even a child pose if you prefer to. Otherwise, finding a nice strong triangular shape, aligning the arms with the back, pushing the ground away through the palms. Maybe have a little pedal or a gentle sway. Just whatever feels good for you. And then gaze forward, bringing it down into tabletop. And at this point, let us check that the hands are underneath the shoulders and the knees are underneath the hips. Always fingers spread wide, it gives us much more balance and stability. Taking out our right leg straight out in line with the body, so hips are square to the ground, and just activate that leg nice and tense and strong, pointing the foot and flexing the foot, pointing the foot. Taking a nice deep inhale, exhale the knee to the nose, and then inhale the knee out to the side, and then take it back and bring it together on an exhale, pushing the ground away. Inhale out, so just warming up the hips. Exhale together. One last time, inhale out, back, exhale together. Inhale back this time, out, bring it round to the nose, exhale to the nose, inhale back, out, exhale to the nose, and the last time, inhale back, out, and this time bring the foot on the outside of the hand, and then let's lift it forward, opening up the heart, and take several breaths here as we just lean forward into the hip, and then let's sit it back and straighten the front leg, flex the foot. You can keep the knee bent if need be, and just lowering it down. And always please remember that you could use blocks or even books if you don't have blocks, and just lengthen, fold it down a little further on each exhale until you can come down as deep as is comfortable for you. And then gaze forward, let's bring it up. Inhale, forward, that lunge. Exhale back and down. Inhale forward, so nicely again, warming up the hips. Exhale back. Inhale forward. And exhale back and hold once again. And then bring it forward, plant the palms, sweep this leg around back into neutral, into tabletop, repositioning the hands and the knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, and then let's this time take the left leg back straight, nice and active and strong, pointing the foot, remember fingers spread wide, deep breath in and out, point the foot, flex the foot, pushing into the heel, point, tensing right through, tensing the bum cheek, thigh, calf, pointing those feet, that foot, and then taking an inhale, exhale the knee, through to the nose, push the ground away around the back, and let us take it out to the side on an inhale, and back around, and exhale to the nose, pushing the ground away, inhale out, and back, exhale to the nose, one last time, inhale out, and back, nice big circles, exhale to the nose, inhale back, and out, exhale to the nose, inhale back, and out, exhale to the nose, and one last time, to the front. And lean into the lunge. Several breaths. You can use blocks if you're not reaching the ground at this point. There's a little sway, just whatever feels good for you. Inhale, exhale back, and hold it down, or just take it down a little bit by little on each exhale. Deep breath, deep stretch. Just relax and breathe. And then bring it up. Inhale forward. Exhale it back. Inhale it up. Exhale it back. Inhale up. And exhale it back. Hold once again. Get a little further down. And then bring it back up and bring the foot back around into tabletop. Finding the hands back underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And let us sit it back into a child pose. Stretching out the arms. Active arms straight, passive arms resting the forearms, a prayer behind the head. Plant the palms, gaze forward, and let's inhale through, up, the shoulders over the wrist, check the elbows are rotated, and then on the exhale, we take it down, through and up, cobra, and back. So several rounds just to nicely warm up the spine. Inhale forward, exhale lower. Inhale up, each time maybe coming a little higher, and exhale back. And this also gets us used to connecting the breath with the movement of the body. Inhale, exhale, and this time maybe, if it's comfortable for your spine, into an up dog. Otherwise, you can just stay in a cobra. Either way, several breaths. And if you are in an up dog, don't sink down, push the ground away and pull the shoulders back and down, away from your ears. And then let's lift up the hips, widen the knees. Big toes touching, bum to heels. Stretching out the spine, lowering it down. Rest the forehead, melt the heart to the earth. Again, active or passive arms, nice deep relaxing breath. And then let's bring it up with the gaze forward and walk the hands over to one side. Reaching and lengthening maybe the torso just almost over the thigh, resting it down for several breaths. And then walk it back through, past the centre, to the other side, and rest and breathe. And then back through to centre. And remembering at any time you need to take a break, feel free to come down into a child pose of your choice and modify the poses in any which way suit you. And then let's bring it up so that the hands are just stretched out with the arms on an angle, and just maybe take a little sway from side to side. Just relax and breathe. And then maybe stretch over to one side, looking over the opposite shoulder. Hold for several breaths. And then sweep it over to the opposite side and look over the opposite shoulder. And then back to centre. Let's bring the knees together and inhale the arms up to the sky, palms together, exhale into prayer, up onto our knees and taking them hip width apart, coming onto the toes and pushing the hips forward. Use the hands, fingers pointing down over, just to push the hips forward, pull the shoulders back, chest through, tuck the chin, or let the head fall back. Several breaths, and then maybe reach for one heel. Several breaths, maybe reach down a little further, creeping the fingers down the sole, and then exchange to the other heel, reaching down a little further, and then back up. Maybe reaching to both heels at the same time, or just take one then the other and alternate. If you have the heels, just creep the fingers down the soles. Not forgetting to breathe. And then release. Sit it down. If you found that you could reach the heels pretty easily, then you could come on to the fronts of the feet. Otherwise, if you struggled, stay on the toes. And now, after taking a nice deep breath in and out, there's a little just rock of the hips here. And then the right hand or one hand on the foot. And let us lift. Take the other hand across so that we can check as we lift that this hip is coming above the knee. And then reach behind. And either stay here looking behind, or you could open the heart to the sky. And then lift and sweep it around and down. Deep breath in, deep breath out, and then hold the opposite heel and lift and push the hips forward. Reach behind, and open the heart to the sky. And then sweep it back around. Again, nice deep breath in, deep breath out, just letting go. And then placing the hands, both hands on the heels here, we'll just lean it back, and as we do so, push the hips forward and allow the head to fall back. Or you could simply place the hands again on your back, take a child pose in between if you need to. And just follow the breath wherever you are. When you are ready, gently lower it down. Deep breath in, deep breath out, and fold it forward, arms down by the sides, palms facing up over. Allow the arms to fall passively, gently sway from side to side, maybe it's turning the head one way, the other. Nice little forehead massage. And just relax and deep breaths. And let's bring it up back into tabletop. Let's maybe take some cat-cows here just to massage the spine off in any which way suits you. Maybe inhale, chin up, tailbone up. You could stay static or move it around. Or exhale, curl the chin and tailbone under. Again, move it in any which way feels good for you. Inhale, chin up, tailbone up. Tuck the toes under, lift up the hips and sink it back into a down dog. Nice strong triangle. Pushing the ground away through the palms. You could have a pedal or a sway or stay still. Static. Gently sway from side to side. And then gaze forward. You can just walk the feet to the hands, or you can come up under the toes, bend it back, and jump it forward. So just folding it in here, you could ragdoll or grab onto the big toes, bent knees, or the ankles, just allowing the head to fall to the shins, hugging in behind the calves. Holding it in a little tighter, stretching out those legs. And then let's curl it up, rounding up, one vertebra at a time. Until we are stood up straight. Inhale the arms up to the sky. And exhale into prayer. So just taking a moment of stillness, tuning into our breath, checking out our posture, noticing how you feel from when you began, any sensations in the body. Maybe you can already notice the subtle energy body beginning to flow more freely as we've unblocked the energy with the poses. And also knowing that the pauses in between our poses are as important a part of the practice as anything. Just preparing for our next little sequence. Always have some water at hand and keep yourself rehydrated. And once again, finding our nice strong posture, feet slightly turned in over, pelvis tucked under, shoulders softly roll back and down. So if there was a thread, lengthening from up the top of the sky, top of our heads up to the sky, lengthening through the spine. Yoga also teaches us how to have a good posture in our daily lives. It reminds us, rather than to be standing like this, even if you were in the queue at the shops, you could just take a moment and just be aware of your posture and your breath and just become fully present in the here and now, which makes us more aware of our surroundings and how we feel. And then let's begin. Arms down and mountain pose. Inhale up to the sky. Slight back bend. Prayer. Soften, hinge and fold from the hips. Inhale, halfway flat back. Hands could be on the shins, on the thighs, or on the ground. Bend in the knees. Step our right foot back. Drop the right knee. Lengthen through the spine and reach towards the ground. Blocks you could use if you're not reaching the ground. Don't worry if you are here, that's perfectly fine. Inhale up to the sky. And exhale, turn the arms the same way as the legs. So keeping the torso activated, nice and tall rather than sink down, pushing into the foot. Inhale and exhale, either reach behind the back, up down the leg, as far as you can reach to. Look behind or open the heart to the sky. Several breaths. And release both hands up to the sky. Nice deep inhale, exhale, sweep the hands to the ground and curl the back foot. Sit it back, straighten, lengthen, flex the foot, soften the knee if need be, and exhale, hinge and fold. A little closer on the exhale. And a little closer. Is forward weight down. Inhale back up to the sky. And exhale the arms the opposite way to the legs. Several breaths, strong arms. and then reach behind the back or down the leg to wherever you can reach to. And release to the sky. Inhale up, opening up the heart. Exhale, sweep it down once again. Straighten, lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. And taking the gaze forward, framing the foot onto the ball of the back foot. Bring this front foot back through into the sky. Three-legged down dog. Nice strong triangle this time. The hands and the feet are quite a distance away, which is good because we need that space for to move through the body. So straightening that leg, right, nice and strong, deep breath in. And gaze forward, let's bring the knee to the nose. And then lower the shin down on an angle. So I'm going to take it into pigeon pose here. So you've got the knee wide, out wide of the hip. And then uncurl the back toes and sink it back into pigeon. So first of all, we'll just lower it down and rest it here. Several nice deep breaths. And pigeon pose, like any hip openers, are excellent for anyone who suffers with sciatica. So if you were to suffer from sciatica, just hold these poses for longer. And then from here, let us sit it up into a little back bend. I'm going to bring it forward, get it out of the picture. And just hold it up, pressing at the fingertips. Use blocks if you're not reaching. So hold and breathe into that nice little back bend here. Check that that leg hasn't gone out on an angle. We want that back in alignment with the hips. Just look behind and make sure it's in alignment. And then maybe here you could lift up with one arm or both arms up to the sky. So that's why it's handy to have that knee out wide, and I usually use my toes to help press and keep balanced here. And then taking the opposite hand to the knee down onto the ground, then bending the back knee and reaching for the foot. So you could stay here or lift to the sky. And if you're not reaching the foot, you can take the hand behind your back and reach for the opposite thigh. And take a rest down in between anytime you want, or if you just want to stay lying forward for the whole time, that's perfectly fine. Wherever you are, just focus on the breath. And then let's bring it down. Take the same hand as the knee down so we can reach for the back foot with the same hand. And now you could reach it up here like that, or hold it down, or if you want to bend and the knee, bringing that foot in, hooking it on the inside of the elbow, and then reaching up maybe across in front with the fingers, or up and behind the head. Breathing all the way. It's quite an advanced one, that took me quite some time to get there. And then gently stretching out the spine, lowering it down, and rest and breathe. Maybe you might want to pray the hands behind your head. And when you're ready, let's lift it up And as we do so, fall onto that bum cheek, sweep this back leg around, bend the knee and place the foot over the opposite thigh. And then the same hand as the highest knee, take that hand behind, and we're going to use that arm as a prop so it can give us a nice straight tall spine. Opposite arm across, hooking that arm onto the thighs, extra leverage to push and encourage a deeper twist. Closing the eyes. Just pushing and twisting it a little deeper if possible. And then the hand from behind, take it straight out, turn the palm up, bend the elbow, bring the back of the hand up into the centre of the spine, and then reach to the sky. Help this up with the other hand if you need to, just wiggle it and walk it up there, and then reach to the sky, bend the elbow, grab for the fingertips if you can get them. If not, don't worry, a belt, strap or a towel is a very handy little prop to help walk the fingers together behind the back. And just relax and breathe, maybe take a gentle sway. And then release and give the shoulders a little massage, circle them in one direction. And then the other way. And roll the head. One direction, then the other. And this time I'm going to reach behind with the opposite hand. So reach that hand behind so it's facing the back side end of your mat. And then pressing onto the opposite, the shin on the inside, and turn and breathe. Now looking behind at the hand behind, plant that palm, and what we need to do here is we're going to lift up, twist it around till we come onto this foot, and lifting the opposite foot behind. Maybe repositioning that hand. I like to place mine a little wide of the shoulder, so opposite hand to foot. Then grab onto the ankle if you can. All steps and stages, pulling it in, standing splits. Deep breaths, bringing it in on an exhale, a fraction closer. Well done. And then bending the knee, pulling the foot into the bum cheek if you have the foot. Deep breaths. And then when you are ready, bring the knee to the chest, lower the foot down, and maybe take a ragdoll. Gently sway, just letting go. We've worked hard there, so after that feeling that exertion, just allow yourself a moment to feel that release, that exhilaration. So let the head just relax. Maybe you want to turn it or nod it up and down, just whatever feels good for you. And then let's roll up gently, one vertebra at a time. And then nice deep inhale. And exhale, pray. So once again, just taking a moment, stillness. And then finding yourself back to the front of the mat. Tuning into our breath, checking out the posture. arms down in mountain pose. Inhale up to the sky, palms together, slight back bend, press, soften the knees, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway flat back, hands down, step the left foot back this time, drop the knee, right knee above the right ankle, lengthen through the spine, reach towards the ground. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale, turn the arms the same way as the legs. Several breaths. And then release down to the heel or behind the back to the opposite thigh. Just down the leg to wherever you can reach to. And then maybe also open the heart. Release and inhale both hands to the sky. Exhale, sweep it down. Uncurl the back toes to the back, straighten, flex, lengthen, soften the knee if need be. Hinge and fold on the exhale. Nice deep breath, deep stretch. And if you needed to, you could be on blocks here. And then eventually one day with practice, you will become more and more flexible. Weight forward. Inhale back to the sky. Exhale, turn the arms the opposite way to the legs. Several breaths. Strong arms. And then reach behind either the back or down the leg. Once again, several conscious breaths. Release back to the sky. Nice deep inhale, exhale. Sit it back once again, lengthen, flex. Exhale, fold. See if you can breathe in that fraction closer on the exhale. And then weight forward, hands framing the front foot, ball of the back foot, lift it through and back to three-legged down dog. So we'll have quite a distance between the hands and the foot. That's good. Making a nice strong triangle, three-legged down dog. Tense that bum cheek thigh, calf, point the foot, push the ground away. And then a nice deep inhale. Gaze forward, exhale the knee to the nose. And then lower the shin on an angle. So see if you can get your knee wider than the hip. And then slide that back foot down into a pigeon. And just gently lower down. And rest. Several nice relaxing breaths. Again, you could have active arms, passive arms, or prayer. And then bring it up. I'm going to shift forward a little. And some people can have their shins parallel with the mat. Not necessary, just have the shin on an angle as to whatever suits you. And also try and keep the hips sat square. And if you are struggling with that, there's an alternative. You could just sit on the bum with each leg at right angles and maybe just rest it down that way. But then if you are in the pigeon, let's first of all just push up through the fingertips, trying to find that little back bend, checking that the back leg hasn't gone out on an angle, it's just nice and straight, back in alignment. And then if you can, lift either one or both hands up to the sky. Breathing all the way. And then first of all, taking the opposite hand to the knee down and bending the back knee in, grabbing for the foot. And either hold here or lift it up. And well done wherever you are. So all steps and stages in practice, and then take the same hand as the knee down and bend the knee behind once again, taking hold with the same hand. So you could just hold it here, try and reach up, or just keep the arm down there, or maybe bend the foot into the bum cheek and hook it into the crease of the elbow. Either hold it here, lift it up here, maybe reach across with the fingertips in front, or and reach behind. Deep breaths and release, and walk it down, gently stretching out the spine after that back bend. Rest and breathe. And then when you are ready, let's bring it up. Fall onto that bum cheek, sweep the opposite leg over into cow face, and reaching back behind with the same hand as the highest knee, to use that arm as a prop to find a nice straight spine. Opposite arm across to press onto the thigh just to deepen the twist. Encourage it, pushing it a little further, look behind. And then the hand from behind, take it out, turn the palm up over and bend and reach it up the centre of the back to the sky with the opposite hand. Bend the elbow, reach the fingertips together. Chin up, close the eyes. But don't worry if you're not able to reach it this far. It's just all straight, all steps and stages. If you are here, just trying to, or you could take the bottom leg out straight actually also, that's another option. And then when you are ready, release and just gently rotate the shoulders. One direction, then the other way. And roll the head. One way, then the other. And then we're going to reach behind with the opposite hand. Reach right behind and take the arm just across the inside of the shin. Again, finding a nice tall spine. Conscious breaths. And then let's look behind, plant the palm, bring the other hand behind, begin to lift up, we're swiveling around, we're going to end up on that foot. This leg up to the sky. You could stay here, maybe then try and grab onto the ankle and pull it in as tight as you can. A little closer. And then bend the back knee, and if you can, reach for the foot. If you've got the foot, pull it in a little closer, lifting that top knee. Deep breaths. All done. And release when you are ready. Knee to chest, lower the foot, and maybe take a ragdoll. Gentle sway. Just another moment of stillness, just letting go. And then rolling it up. One vertebra at a time. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale to breath. Whew. And then find our way back to the front of the mat. And stepping it out here into a star. Taking a nice deep inhale. Stretching out through the fingertips. Feel the stretch up the sides. And exhale, press. Lower it down into a squat. And maybe if it's not comfortable for you to come straight down into the squat, you can lift it up and down. Come onto the balls of the feet, wiggle it around, reposition the feet until it's comfortable for you to come down. Maybe use a towel behind the heels just to help with your balance, or place a block underneath your bum. So just sitting here, just relaxing. Once again, a moment of stillness, just with the breath in the present moment. And that stretch across in front of the shin with one arm and up to the sky with the other. And then back to center. And then do the opposite side, reach it up, stretch it out. And then back to center. And then lower it down onto our bums. Maybe you need to take the hands behind to help you down. And soften the knees, just leaning it forward here. Rocking the bum cheeks out of the way. Flexing the feet. With bent knees, lengthen through the spine. Inhale, exhale as we reach and hinge and fold. So I want the chest to come to the thighs. And maybe grab onto wherever you can get hold of, whether it be the calves, the ankles, the feet, or reach behind, or you could use a strap or a belt to help lower you down. Pull it in. Nice deep breath. Nice deep stretch. A little closer. Gaze forward. Nice deep breath in. Lengthen through the spine. And pull it in a little tighter. And then gently lift it up. And I'm going to just roll back one vertebra at a time. Into our Shavasana. So arms down by the sides, palms facing up over. Let the feet come out to about the insides of the edge of the mat, flopping out. Lift up the chest just to tuck the shoulder blades flat beneath us. Closing the eyes, taking a nice deep inhale, filling up the lungs, hold for a second. And take a big sigh out. Release, relax, surrender. Letting the physical body, the weight of the physical body melt away into the earth below. Anything that doesn't serve us, just let that melt away and be absorbed by Mother Earth and taken care of. And then with the inhale, the lightness of the breath, that life force prana energy. Notice that subtle energy body flowing freely now. Any blocked energy you may have had before has been released during your practice. So look into the center of the forehead, into the third eye chakra, into that, and immerse yourself into that emptiness, that nothingness. So letting go of any thoughts come into your mind, just let them go on an exhale. Just simply come back to the breath. As we inhale, just enter that nothingness, that space, that freedom. Just float freely. Thoughts will probably still keep coming, so we need to catch them every time before they turn into a story. Just simply focus back on the breath, maybe the rise and fall of the chest. Just letting them go on the exhale. Just on each inhale, feeling lighter and lighter. Floating freely into that nothingness. And ideally we should stay in Shavasana for at least 5 minutes, or as long as you want to. The longer the better. But if you want to begin to prepare to leave, let us just rotate our wrists and our feet, our hands and our feet, massaging the wrists and the ankles. Some nice deep breaths. One direction, then the other direction. Taking a nice deep inhale, exhale the knees into the chest, curling into a ball. A nice little rock from side to side, back massage. And then either roll onto one side into the fetal position. You may want to stay there for a moment or two, or make your way up into sitting. Finding a cross-leg position with a straight spine, or half lotus, full lotus, whatever you feel you want to do, and just finding that straight spine, tuning into the breath. Nice deep inhale up to the sky, exhale into prayer, front of the heart center, where we hold all of our love and compassion, not only for others but most importantly for ourselves, that we more often than not forget about. So let us with some nice last conscious breaths, giving thanks once again for our lungs and the air that we breathe to keep us alive. Just being grateful for all of the blessings in our life. Just giving thanks. When we are in a state of gratitude, there is no room for negativity. It raises our vibrations and lifts our spirits. And it's a really good way to lift our mood. And then when you are ready, gently open your eyes. Namaste. And thank you so much for joining me. Well done. I'll see you again. Bye for now.